Hey friend, this is Ian Khan. I hope you're doing well. I wanted to take some time now in February, and this is early February, to talk about what the future potentially looks like, the next few months look like, and what you should do as a business owner, as a small business owner, as a manager, as a team leader, as an entrepreneur, as any kind of leader who's trying to move further and who's trying to move beyond the state of the world, the state of business that we're seeing today. At this moment in time, we're looking at efforts by various governments to vaccinate the population and to move beyond what the pandemic has done for us over the last 1 year. It's almost exactly 1 year since the world started feeling the tremors of COVID-19, and we started looking at a completely new world that we are living in right now. I think what the biggest challenge has been for all of us is to deal with this change, is to battle this change. I still remember in March, I was in Dubai in February, March, and I saw a lot of people using face masks in Dubai. And I was a little bit surprised, but not shocked. And I was like, hey, these people are really a little bit forward looking, and they've got masks on, and what else is going on in the world? So since that day until now, I have personally felt that the one thing that people have had, and they're still having this challenge, is to use masks, is to use hand sanitizers, is to adhere to these guidelines and these new rules of not being disease spreaders or not being the COVID-19 spreaders. It is difficult to live through that. And I'm talking from personal experience that it's difficult to live through that because you have to deal with a lot of change. For those of us who've had COVID, or our families have had COVID, or maybe your friends, families, neighbors have had COVID, you know exactly what it means. You know exactly what it does. I have had more than one person in my extended family who's passed away because of COVID-19, and it's been really tragic and unfortunate because of the sudden nature of the disease, because of what it did and how it's destroyed so much more than we can ever imagine. And that's the reality of life. I can speak from personal experience that I got really close to getting very sick a few months ago, and I didn't know what to do and how to even think about tomorrow. So people who are going through COVID are just had such a big struggle. So we've got to open up our hearts and think for ourselves that if masking is a thing that can be done, that can protect people, then let's do it. If it's physical distancing, then let's do physical distancing, whatever it takes. Over the last 1 year, we initially went through a phase of being in denial, and that's exactly what happened. We were in denial of the fact that this is happening to the world. We then got a little bit accustomed to it. We accepted reality, and we said, and we means a lot of people, and I know there's people on both sides of the fences right now, but I think most of the people, majority of the world. And we said, hey, looks like this is real. What do we need to do? And down came clamping off meeting people. Governments came down with municipalities came down with rules saying you can't meet, you can't do all of these things that you so dearly love. Events got canceled, conferences got canceled, work went from regular work to remote work, and this was another change that people were not used to. We just were not used to doing things from home. For people who rarely work from home, started going insane because now you're there with your spouse is working, you're working, your kids are home. It's just complete insanity. And that's been a real big change and a challenge for many people to adopt to. As I'm just talking about a couple of different changes that we've seen over the last 12 months. We've also seen change in relationships. We've seen changes in how we meet people or how we do not meet people, and how we're so isolated in our own bubbles in many parts of the world where you cannot meet people as freely as you used to or go and do the things that you used to do. And this is all being done by our governments, by our healthcare departments and healthcare ministers and leaders, just to make sure everybody's safe. Now, there's a lot of criticism, of course, that a lot isn't being done. And I can tell you this from the country where I live in, I wish they would have done more. I wish they would have done many other things, but I think it's very complex. On one hand, look at the US, there's been a lot of political change over the last 1 year. There's a new president in place. So there's been a lot of other factors that have affected how things work and how things do not work. What about now? So we're almost a year into the pandemic. I have a little bit of hope that we're going to see better days ahead because primarily of the fact that the vaccine is here and everybody's been waiting for the vaccine in terms of the vaccine will change how we do things. It'll help create a safety net and so on and so forth, right? So that's been one of the big things. Now the challenge right now is the vaccine rollout. How many people are actually going to get the vaccine, and is it going to be a proper rollout or not? And that's another small little hill roadblock that we must overcome. But it's not going to happen overnight, even though production capacities are out there. I don't believe personally that, and looking at the trends of the healthcare industry, manufacturing trends, vaccination manufacturing and logistics and transportation trends, I don't believe that the entire world will get vaccinations anytime by the end of this year. I doubt that the Western world, the folks who have all the vaccines, they will get, a majority of the population will get vaccines at the end of the year. It's going to be a little bit difficult to make that happen if things continue the way are continuing. I read a report just yesterday that said that if vaccination continues at the rate and at the pace it's happening right now in the world, it'll take 7 years by the time the whole world is vaccinated, and that doesn't make sense. Other reports suggest that, and this was about Canada, that if the pace of vaccination continues the way it's happening right now, it'll be by the end of 2023 that everybody in Canada will be vaccinated, and all of these things. But the factors that are affecting vaccine delivery, vaccine manufacturing, there's a few different challenges I feel that need to be overcome. I really believe that business can still move forward. Doesn't matter what you do as a business, whether you're in sales profession, you're selling a product, you're a manufacturing company, you're a logistics company, you're a retail company. This is the age of pivot. This is the age of changing how you've traditionally done business and how you can move business forward. It's about identifying the things that shape business. It's helping identify the accelerators for your business and what can you do right now to accelerate that pace of your business. This is the time to focus and go back to the core for the reason why you actually are in the work that you are in. And undoubtedly, I'm not saying that this is a magic bullet, but I'm saying that there's a way to make things happen. You've got to do things differently if you want different results. See, the environment has changed. The entire environment in which businesses have operated has changed. So how will you continue to succeed in the environment that has changed with a process you use which is from the past, with your rules from the past, with your habits from the past? You have to change how you do things. So we've seen, let's talk about a few different industries. We've seen some of the retail industry change, and people have gone from store shopping to online shopping. And there's a lot of work that's been done by some companies, and they're doing well. You're looking at Amazon as one of the companies that's really killing it right now. They're growing like crazy, and they've been very successful in making this transition. And of course, they've been an online company, but they've accelerated more of what they do. There's more products, there's more things they're selling. Many people are selling their things on Amazon. So as a retailer, whether you create your own online store, whether you start selling to your customers that you already have, or you're reselling on a platform provider such as Shopify or Amazon or somebody else, you've got to make those choices. And you've got to be able to leverage technology as an enabler. And this is not about using some big, amazing, crazy technology like artificial intelligence. And we're not talking about that. We're just saying digitize your processes, digitize your business workflows to be digital rather than actually physical. From a store, start thinking online mentality. And if you don't have the capabilities, the capacity, the expertise to do that, then go and look for people who are going to help you do that. Go hire people on a freelance basis or on whatever basis and get them to help you get where you want to go. And there's an incredible amount of talent pool out there. You can make it happen if you really put your mind to it. Services, putting them online is really easy. If you're an accounting firm, if you're a law firm, we know Zoom conferencing is definitely there and meetups are there. There's so many different platforms, but I would rather focus on building a community. Start building your communities, your bubble, your customer base that you can curate, that you can work with, that you can converse with, that you can talk to every week, every month. You've got to start leveraging the power of community rather than look at everybody as a customer. Absolutely. It's all about the client relationship, but you've got to start building those communities, which I know a lot of businesses don't focus on. You just feel it's a transactionary business, and that business of transactions is the old way of doing things. It's not the new way of doing things. So in this world where we all are disconnected from each other physically and we're connected digitally, you've got to create communities online. So whether it's running contests, promotions, doing whatever you need to do, running webinars, or helping your clients do something, bringing them together, that's what you've got to focus on. And that is a new rule of this era, 2020 and beyond. Apart from that, I mean, there's so much that can happen looking at the way you engage, looking at your digital marketing, looking at your digital advertising, and how are you able to reach out to your customer base, and how are you able to tell them why to work with you. So if you're a restaurant, if you're a dentist, if you're a lawyer, if you're a construction company, if you're a law firm, an accounting firm, a medical supply company, a digital agency, it doesn't matter what you do. You can bring all of that to a digital platform, to online. I've seen businesses whose websites are struggling and their web presence is really struggling, and it just means you're not paying attention to what you should be paying attention to. You've got to come out of the mentality that you've been in over the past 1 year. And I know I can appreciate and understand that the pandemic has literally paralyzed us. It's gotten people to stop thinking about how they can do things better. But having said that, there's many businesses who are thriving, and there's medical supply equipment businesses that I know that are thriving. There's hand sanitizer businesses that are thriving. And let me make it clear, these are some businesses that pivoted and they did something radically different to ride the wave, to seek opportunity and figure out, hey, there's an opportunity for us right now, and maybe we can set up shop and make a hand sanitizer factory, or retrofit our brewery and make it a hand sanitizer factory. And all of those things, yes, there were some people who are in the industry and they could have just pivoted. There are many others who just jumped into these things. So you've got to be open to ideas, and you've got to be openly seeking opportunity in order to be part of those opportunities, right? And that's what you need to do. 2021 should be a year for you to jump on things, to be able to capitalize on things. I know a lot of people who are in the education industry, and there's no reason why you cannot create your own course portfolios. You cannot sell them digitally. You cannot sell them to universities or institutions that need those education experts to come together and change things. And so there's many opportunities, my friends. The year is 2021. We are not defeated by the pandemic, but the pandemic has been a good wake-up call for a lot of us, in fact the entire world, to figure out what we want to do, how we do things, and where should we go next. This is an opportunity to change the way you've done things and succeeded. This is an opportunity for you and me to build upon our strengths and our core capacities and our core capabilities and forge ahead when we can, right? This is the time for us to start thinking about what works and what doesn't work, what has traditionally worked, why, and what can work for us, and how. There are people out there who can help you. You can reach out to your communities, your friends, your advisors, and you'll find people who will support you. But there's many people who will put you down, and they'll tell you it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. Don't even think about doing that new thing because it's scary, because it's not right, because of whatever reason. And so be careful who you seek advice from. Be careful who you're seeking advice from for what. And be very careful about that. Sometimes people just shoot our dreams and they tell us how terrible of an idea it is, and we just give up on the things we need to do. Don't do that. Please don't do that. And with that, my friends, this is all I wanted to talk about. I want to say that there is an amazing tomorrow waiting for us. There's amazing and tremendous opportunity to go digital. This whole episode is about digital. You want to learn about Foresight? This is the Foresight, that digital is the way to go. Whether it's focusing on your digital message, it's starting an e-commerce side of your business, it's starting a digital delivery side of your business, it's leveraging video content to drive engagement with your audiences, it's about creating communities digitally, and how do you bring people together and serve them. This is the future, and this is what we should work on, and this is where you should go. It doesn't matter what business you are. You could be a restaurant, and if you're not already email marketing your customer base and collecting emails from your customers and giving them coupons every time they buy something, then you're doing something wrong, right? There's many things that can be done right here, right now, today, to create a better tomorrow, to create a better future, whether the pandemic is here or not. Here's a challenge. Tomorrow or in the future, we might have a bigger problem. There are some people who are talking about another pandemic that might hit us in the future, which will be 10 times bigger than COVID-19. It'll be 10 times worse than COVID-19. What then? What capabilities will we have then to do the things that we need to do, to support our families, to support our employees, our teams, our organizations, right? So start thinking about the far future, but also start acting on things right here, today, and figure out a way to do things. Don't get paralyzed. Stop watching too much Netflix. Stop watching too much Amazon Prime. Stop watching streaming content. Start reading a book, at least one book per week, about adding a new skill set, about adding something new to your arsenal to do things in a different way. Start attending an online course on Coursera, edX, Open University, any of the MOOCs, any of the open universities, and add something new to your career, to your skill set right now, so that you can benefit from it next week. And don't wait. Don't wait for too long, because today is not that time. This is not an era where we wait for ages and months and years. The world has changed in the last 12 months. So what is our expectation from the next 12? We should work faster. We should work in a more agile way. We should learn faster, fail faster, and we should move on faster. And these are lessons that have been taught by many before. This is not something new that I'm creating, but I'm just refreshing our minds to accept these ideas and to move forward. Friends, I hope February is a great month for you. I wish you all the success. I wish you good learning experiences, and I hope you thrive. You thrive in 2021. You do really well, but for that, you will have to work on yourself, and that will come out as your contribution, as work that you will do for others. Take care. 2021. Have a great February. This is a February episode of Foresight. My name is Ian Khan, technology futurist, author, filmmaker, and check me out at iankhan.com. See you, friends. Take care, stay strong, and do something right here, right now, today.